On this episode of China Uncensored, move over, pizza rat. There's a new rodent in town. On the internet. And by the way, this episode has some graphic photos, so hide your children. Hi, welcome to China Uncensored. I'm your host, Chris Chappell. Childhood in China. It's come a long way since the days of Mao's Cultural Revolution. Kids are no longer encouraged to purge rightist elements in society with stolen military weapons. Now, they mainly just have to take exams. But that doesn't mean childhood is without its joys. In China, the land of the knockoffs, there's always fun-filled, slightly imperfect versions of beloved Disney classics. From toys, to movies, to, oh my gosh! I don't remember that scene in Ratatouille. This image has become the biggest thing on the Chinese internet over the past several days. Yes, even bigger than using fake Donald Trump tweets to wish your family a happy new year. Now, I don't know who ratted him out, but apparently this little guy was caught stealing rice. And rather than a simple extermination, it was given the Cultural Revolution treatment. The sign says, "I won't dare do it again." Get it? 'Cause he's dead. Honestly, people just don't have a sense of humor anymore. Apparently, of the almost 6,000 comments this image got on Weibo, China's version of Twitter, many weren't finding it funny. What's wrong with a little unnecessary cruelty against a helpless creature that also conjures up memories of a time of constant inhuman torture and suffering the Chinese Communist Party forced upon its citizens? That's the problem with kids these days. They weren't brought up committing or being victimized by atrocities that will haunt them for the rest of their lives. This is a sign of changing social mores in China. In the early days of the Communist Revolution, life was, how shall we say, cheap. Like when Chairman Mao said this in 1957 when talking about why he wasn't afraid of nuclear war. There are 2.7 billion people in the world. It doesn't matter if some are killed. China has a population of 600 million. Even if half of them are killed, there are still 300 million people left. Demonstrating a strong grasp of math and population control, both of which would continue to guide the party for decades. People back then were encouraged to kill pests, whether they be sparrows or landowners. Seriously, that was a landowner about to be shot. But don't start hating on Chinese people. You should actually be hating on the Chinese Communist Party. It was the party that wiped out China's traditional values as a way to establish its own ideology. It was the party that told people it was fine to kill landowners for the crime of owning land, and then forced or brainwashed its citizens into taking part. So after one or two generations of this, well, you can see why even today you'll find cases of people doing things like, adopting dogs, plural, and feeding them to their pet snake. He posted a video of it online, and no, I'm not going to show it to you. But on the other hand, there's a growing movement of Chinese people going the other way. Remember the story I ran about the world's saddest polar bear? Thousands of Chinese citizens petitioned and got him removed from his horrible display case at the mall. And even Chinese celebrities are speaking out for animal rights.
You don't have to play ball to be a great shot blocker. Never buy illegal wildlife products.
I know what you're thinking. Who releases an elephant and Yao Ming into a basketball court and then starts shooting? But the mind of a poacher is a hard thing to understand. By the way, Yao Ming was part of a selective breeding program by the state to create a basketball superstar. Just a fun little aside. But there is a growing animal rights movement in China. And they're trying to change the fact that China is the only major industrialized nation with no serious legislation against animal cruelty. And that could affect things like the Yulin Dog Meat Eating Festival, where 10,000 dogs are served as food every year. That's not how you walk the dog. Or the practice of making tiger wine. Or whatever's going on here. Oh my gosh. Poor Yogi and Boo Boo. So from now on, if you're going to reference the Cultural Revolution in a photo, at least leave it for your graduation photo. So what do you think about the picture? Does the rat's punishment fit its crime? Leave your comments below. Thanks for watching this episode of China Uncensored. Once again, I'm your host, Chris Chappell. See you next time.